Ever look at a recipe and think too many steps? What if I told you there are just 7 things you do when you cook anything? 7! Hey, I'm Seth. This channel is all about making cooking easier. In this video, I'm showing you how to see every recipe as 7 basic techniques. It's not 1,000 different things that you need to memorize, just 7 things that you see over and over again. We'll get into the details of how to do them later, but today's all about showing you a new, simple, stress-free perspective. Imagine you find this recipe. Give it a scan, figure out what's going on. Looks like a lot, but take a closer look and you realize that it's spelling out how to boil dry pasta. I'm guessing you've done this before. And it's the same steps no matter what kind of pasta you're making. Really, the only thing you change is how long you let the pasta sit in the boiling water. And that's written right on most pasta packages. We can simplify all of this to cook pasta 2 cups of penne. Super powerful, right? So let's go through and do this for all the most common cooking techniques that you'll run into in no particular order, and we just covered one of them. Grains in water. This is what you do when you make pasta, but it's also rice, quinoa, lentils, and a host of other carby bases. You put hard or fresh grains into a pot of hot water, and then wait till they soften up. Veggies in fat. Some veggies are great raw, but other ones need some cooking. Coat veggies in fat, get them hot, and wait for them to transform. High heat sear. This technique is for any meat that you want aggressively browned on the outside while staying less cooked on the inside, like a ribeye steak. Get your grill or pan or broiler super hot, put the meat on for a short amount of time. Medium heat meat. This one's for meat that you want cooked evenly, like chicken breast, so it's fully done inside and out without drying out. Low heat braise. This one's for those cuts of meat that are tough, but given enough time, turn into something delicious. Think brisket, pulled pork, and beef chuck. Add meat, a liquid like stock or wine to keep things from drying out, cover, and let it gently cook away for a long time. Mix stuff up. Tons of recipe steps boil down to this simple instruction. Put stuff in a bowl and mix it. That could be a salad dressing, or a marinade, or a sauce. But the actual technique is simple. Dump and stir. Cut stuff up. We cut food when we cook for 3 main reasons: to get rid of stuff we don't want to eat, to change how something cooks, and so stuff fits better in our mouths. You take big food and make it smaller. There are plenty of ways to do this, usually with a knife and a cutting board. Think of these as the 7 skills you're building every time you cook. Searing a burger? High heat sear, and it'll make you better at searing ahi tuna. Making a side of rice? That's grains in water, and it'll make you better at cooking quinoa. Never cooked leg of lamb before? It's no problem. It's very similar to other low heat braises you might have done in the past. Check out the most popular recipe of New York Times food in 2025. It's really this. Cut stuff up, mix that stuff up with yogurt, and then do a high heat sear with ground beef. You throw in walnuts and raisins at the end, and then assemble. And here's a big old tasty recipe from Samin Nosrat's cookbook. And here's what it looks like to me when I simplify it. Mix stuff up and put it on chicken thighs. Cut stuff up and then cook those veggies in fat. Low heat braise the chicken thighs in tomatoey liquid with those veggies, and finish with a high heat sear of the chicken by cranking up the heat and pulling off the foil. This is how I want you to see meal preparations, as these big chunks instead of a million tiny steps. Sometimes you'll see some creative ways to blend techniques together too. Check this one out. This is andouille and chicken jambalaya by Emerald. Cut stuff up, cook those veggies in fat, in this case vegetable oil, medium heat meat, some sausage, then high heat sear chicken so it's brown on the outside but undercooked inside. Finish it off by doing grains in water and a low heat braise together. Look at that. Why did I combine 2 techniques in the same final step? It's because Emerald's pulling off a cool trick. He's doing 2 techniques at once. The rice is steaming and the chicken is braising at the same time using the same cooking liquid in the same pot. But make no mistake, it's the same basic principles at play. And that's about as complicated as it gets. But most of the time you'll be doing even more basic stuff as a home cook. I sure am. 1 ingredient, 1 preparation. For meat, you got 3 options, although that's normally just 1 or 2 depending on the cut. For veggies, you got 1, and for grains, also 1. You can always choose to mix stuff up to make a sauce or sprinkle on a fun spice when you cook the meat. And you can add some flavoring at the end to energize or comfort your dish, but that's usually as simple as slicing a lemon or chopping some fresh herbs or scooping on a pre-made sauce or topping. Example meal. Chicken thighs, medium heat meat in the oven with some salt, and let's add a fun spice, say sumac. Carrots, cut stuff up, then veggies in fat. in a pan on the stovetop. I'll use olive oil. Rice, grains in water. Let's cook basmati rice in a pot. I'll add a squeeze of lemon to brighten it all up at the end. Put it together and you got a deliciously satisfying meal. Medium heat meat, cut stuff up, veggies and fat, and grains and water. With the same techniques, we could have easily made pork chops, Brussels sprouts, and pasta, or salmon, roasted bell peppers, and quinoa. Same techniques. Mix together a quick tzatziki sauce for the salmon and it's feeling Greek. Add some teriyaki sauce instead and it's feeling Japanese. The techniques have not changed, but we've made so many different dishes. Okay, quick disclaimer. These don't cover everything you'll ever do when cooking. Toasting bread and steaming vegetables and making a roux don't fit neatly into this model. But think of these as the 7 big ones. When you're comfortable with all of these techniques, you'll be confident in the kitchen. Start thinking about the food that you make and eat in terms of these 7 techniques. Look out for my videos going into depth on each of them. Lots of fun stuff to explore. See you next time.